Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Blitzburgh Banter. I am A.A. Ron Frank, and I've got
Andrew over here.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've been here.
It has.
I don't know. People probably thought that we were probably missing, or
Thought we closed doors.
or they're probably thinking that maybe we were that barstool person from the Florida State game last night who was going to eat the dog poop in a red Solo cup if Florida State lost the game. But
Wow.
they did lose the game, and he's totally disappeared off the face of the internet. But we are back. We are here.
I think if you eat dog shit, you're probably gonna end up in the hospital.
Well, he made a bet. You don't understand the whole premise behind it. But ladies and gentlemen, it is week one. It is week one. We finally have something to actually legitly talk about.
But before we get into the Blitzburgh Banter, I mean, this is the Blitzburgh Banter, but we
need to raise one. We need to raise one to another season of Pittsburgh Steelers football.
All right,
let's raise another.
Cheers. All right,
thank you, Icy Light.
All right, here we go. The official drink of the Blitzburgh Banter, even though they're not aware of that, but maybe someday they will.
They will be at one point. Yeah,
they're gonna know.
Hopefully,
they're gonna know. Anything else you gotta say real quick? Because I have a toast I need to make real quick.
Well, there was a couple of reasons why we weren't here. The biggest one, don't know if you can see, but have a nice ring on my finger.
It's got some hardware.
Some might call it the ball and chain. It depends on who you want.
How heavy is that thing? Take that off. I need to see how heavy that is.
It's about as heavy as a Super Bowl ring. I mean, it looks as nice as a Super Bowl ring.
It's silicone.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at that. That's the way to do it, man. No. Holy cow.
And by the way, you can get a Steelers one on Amazon for like $45. I will be doing that.
Really? That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, for the banter. We'll have that put on here. Yeah, look at that. That's nice.
And just want to say there probably will be a picture of my wedding day fit. Shout out to Tamsin's Bridal in Carlisle.
Once again, Tamsin's doing a great job.
They really made me look good for the big day, which is very tough to do. I do not clean up nicely.
That is rough.
And they were great. They were wonderful. I think we will probably be doing an episode with them.
I think look out for Steelers style. We might be doing our own version of Blitzburgh Banter style at Tamsin's.
I think so. Yes.
We'll see what happens. I think that'd be fun.
So that is in the working. We are excited about that. So look out for that coming probably the next few months.
Yeah, a month or two, something like that. We'll figure it out. We got to talk to them first, but. So another cheers. Like I said, cheers to you getting married and congratulations there, my friend. I'm glad that you're still able to do this with me and it hasn't interfered too much in things because we're definitely going to get a lot busier, I think, here in the next couple months with the podcast.
Yep.
A lot of things on the horizon. But yeah, cheers. Congratulations. So week one, we've got the Falcons from the South, Atlanta. Falcons we're going to be playing down in Atlanta. 1 o'clock game, I do believe, on Fox, right?
Yep. It is a 1:02 kickoff.
Yep, there we go. So exciting, absolutely exciting. How pumped are you?
Oh, I'm extremely excited, but I'm also a little nervous though too because
I'm pumped. I'm pumped, man. I'm ready to freaking roll.
Well,
I am pumped.
Lois, it's back!
I heard, Peter. I heard.
Kids, it's happening. Get your coats. This is what we practiced for.
Yeah! I love you, Dad.
I love you too, sweetheart. None of the past matters.
Let's just say the Falcons, they've been busy during the last couple weeks of the offseason with a couple additions that they added on. So
yeah. Well, this is going to be, I'm going to be honest with you, the first couple weeks here is going to be some storyline weeks because, I mean, this week, right off the bat, who do we have as our offensive coordinator who was the head coach of Atlanta?
Arthur Smith's making a return. Yep, back to Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
So that's going to be a storyline this week and at the game, obviously it's definitely going to be something they're going to be talking about. So that's definitely big. Looking forward to that.
And then the other big one is Russell Wilson starting.
Yep, that is our starter. Russell Wilson is our starter.
I mean, since Wilson's been named the starter, I mean,
yeah.
There'll be some clips here from ESPN.
Coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are you giving the ball to?
I would have started Justin Fields, but this was never a quarterback competition. We were bamboozled a little bit, and I have endless amounts of respect for Mike Tomlin.
Think
No, I agree. Listen, me personally, I would have started Justin Fields because he brings something to the table from an athletic standpoint that Russell Wilson just doesn't. Both of these guys are flawed quarterbacks. Make no mistake about it. They're both flawed quarterbacks. But at least with Justin Fields, I got a game plan something with him at quarterback.
Because I believe in Mike Tomlin so much. But the Steelers got last place written all over them, Shay. They got last place written all over them. I don't see how they get out of this.
Of all the talk about, well, Fields should be the starter. Fields should be the starter. And again, no one, I don't think, absolutely won the job during preseason or anything, but this is the most logical way to do this in terms of.
Yeah. And in a Tomlinism, he had the pole position.
Yes.
He's had the pole position since he was brought in, essentially.
Right.
Because Fields was after, obviously. I will say this. I mean, one man's missed opportunity is another man's opportunity, right? Which Russell was dealing with with an injury, obviously, and they were just taking it slow with him. Makes sense. He's been in the league for quite some time, so he is definitely a vet. Should be able to step in as a vet and perform as a vet, even with minimal practice. I would say, right? So Fields got a lot of practice in preseason, a lot of snaps, even when we were out in Latrobe, obviously. And then even in playing time with the preseason games, he got a lot of snaps. He and Kyle Allen, I would say, got a decent amount.
Yeah, a lot of players got a good workload.
Yeah, which I like that. I like to see the lower, the second string, third strings get more.
It's a long season. You never know when those players are going to be called upon.
When you're going to need it. Yep, absolutely. So yeah, Russell Wilson is the starter. Obviously, no shock to anyone, I don't think, out there. Fields is obviously second. What are your thoughts on that? And then I'll give you my.
On Wilson starting, I mean,
do you think we'll see Fields at all? Do you think we'll see Fields at all on Sunday down in Mercedes-Benz Stadium? Do you think he'll make it a little cameo?
I do believe that they'll probably have packages installed for him. I don't know how much we're going to see him. I hope that we see him at least for a couple plays because again, zone run scheme with him I think is great.
Yeah.
He can make smart decisions too. He did show that.
Oh, absolutely.
He did show that in the preseason. I wouldn't necessarily want to see them bouncing back and forth all the time with it, but
design situations,
right? But at least for this first week, I wouldn't mind seeing Justin Fields like in third and short situations, inside the 10-yard line situations.
Yeah.
With it now, if Russ is cooking, as everyone used to say,
let him go.
Yeah, then you're playing with house money and just keep betting.
Yeah.
But starting off here, I definitely think that because everyone says, oh, you can't have two quarterbacks in the NFL. I think you can. You just have to be smart at how you do it. The Saints managed it pretty well whenever they had Breeze and Taysom Hill.
Yep.
Again, not saying we're going to turn out like that, but again, I think it can work as long as you have the game plan, and I think both players would understand their roles with it.
Yeah.
What I'm really curious to see is the only thing I cared about during preseason was our play concepts. Now, yes, everything was mostly base, but for the first time, though, we actually used motion. We used the middle of the field.
Yes.
We actually used play action.
Yeah.
I want to see all that again.
We threw down the field.
And I actually want to see the physicalness on both sides of the ball.
Oh yeah. Offense. Well, yeah, absolutely. I want to see the physicalness starting in the trenches with the line,
right?
Offensive line. That's where it's got to start.
We've invested a lot of draft picks in the offensive line, and honestly, like through preseason, that they look like they're ready to take that step. So
yeah,
being ready and taking that step are two vastly different things. But I want to see it because, I mean, Atlanta has a sneaky good defense from what they've added.
From what you're
from the picks that they've added here.
Yeah.
So again, like I'm ready for the Steelers to return back to like where they were, 6-7 years ago. Smash mouth, like you're gonna feel the Steelers, like they're gonna.
We're gonna bring the punishment,
right? We're gonna impose our will.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. Yep,
right.
Needs to start day one, weekend one.
Right,
yep.
and like little tangent here. So us here, we're Penn State fans. We're not Pitt Panther fans.
I'm glad you bring this up.
You can bring all the hate to us on social media. It's fine. We get it.
It is what it is.
But again, Penn State had kind of an unknown situation going into that West Virginia game this past weekend.
Yeah.
And again,
and West Virginia's not a slouch.
No, they're not nine-win team. And again,
they're no
with
slouch.
how everything was going, they were picking West Virginia to win that game. But guess what? Penn State literally imposed their will on both sides of the ball. There was at no point in question, maybe in the first 6-7 minutes of the first quarter, because both things were heated. But as soon as we settled down, I'm like,
it was over.
We had it was a brand new offense, and again, our defense too. Again, you could hear those hits.
Oh yeah,
it just flying. And again, that's something too I want to see on defense. I want to see the hunger.
Yeah,
I want to
point of attack, tackling at point of attack,
because they didn't really play a whole lot during preseason, which is fine.
Yeah,
but again, I want to see we want to kill.
The only person that I worry, and nothing against Cam Hayward, I think the world of Cam Hayward, but he's the only one that I worry about just a little bit as far as football shape and all that kind of stuff. TJ Watt, nobody in the world is worried about TJ Watt. So Watt could literally go all summer without training at all, and he'd be able to walk in and frickin' impose his will, in my opinion. So who I'm excited to see is Watt, and then rotating in Herbig. That's what I'm excited to see. I'm hoping.
But we don't even have to rotate in Herbig.
Yeah, well, I guess that's true.
If our defensive line can take care of business and stop the run, you can bring Herbig in as a third linebacker.
That's true.
At that point.
Yeah, that's true.
With it. Or he could rotate around with Smith and Watt in that, which fine.
Yeah.
But again, if our defensive line can actually take control of the line of scrimmage, you
yeah.
can bring Herbig in as a middle linebacker, as a Micah Parsons situation, which, by the way, I mean, again, preseason's preseason. We all learned our lesson from last year.
Yep.
But I'll tell you this right now.
Yeah.
Herbig looked angry, and he looked faster.
He
looked a lot faster.
He to me looks like a mini TJ Watt.
Well, I mean, or again, like he reminded me of Micah Parsons.
Or Parsons, yeah. Well, both very good linebackers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So, what was I going to say? It's definitely we need to win in the trenches. There definitely needs to be
and last
physical.
Last thing I'll say, for God's sakes, please get George Pickens the fucking ball early and often.
Yeah.
Please give George Pickens the ball early and often.
And my opinion with that is, so many people have been questioning: is George Pickens really a wide receiver one? Is he a one? Is he? Well, the only way that you're going to figure that out is if you throw him the ball. That's it. That's the only way you figure out whether someone's a wide receiver one or they're a wide receiver two. Clearly, three, whatever. You know what I'm saying. But you have to be able to get open. The man can get open. And the other thing is he loves combat catches. He has no problem with a combat catch. So throw the ball in his direction, and we're going to find out real quick whether he's a wide receiver one or he's not, right? So, I mean, let's put this to bed and throw him the ball. And you're going to see right away real quick whether he is or he isn't. That's for all of us, in my opinion.
But again, that's what I also mean by imposing our will.
Correct.
Imposing, yes.
And that's how you're going to impose the will.
Yeah.
Is you got to throw him the ball.
Right.
You got to throw him the ball. So you got to throw him the ball. I don't know. I'm not sure if Roman Wilson is he going to be back. I guess we're not sure on that exactly.
They're projecting that he'll be suited up. No one knows exactly how much playing time he's going to get.
If he's going to get a nod or not. Yeah.
But again, we're also looking at Van Jefferson and Calvin Austin on the other half of
two other big weapons.
Right, on the other half of the field.
Yeah.
Too. And again, I'm also excited to see Calvin Austin not just used, Austin and Pickens not just used in a go route situations.
Yeah.
I actually want to see I can't wait to actually see, are we going to use the whole route tree concept with them?
Yeah. Coming across the middle.
Right.
Flagging, all kind. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And with offense, we can't not talk about Najee and Jalen. Not sure if Jalen's going to be. He was questionable last I knew. Maybe another situation. It's going to be a game time situation. I don't know.
Hamstrings. Going back to my PT background, hamstrings are always interesting to come back from.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not concerned about it. We have Cordero Patterson, totally fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he can run the ball.
Right.
Yeah, just fine. So, but once again, we don't need to worry about any of those three position players having any issues with physicality. I think if the line, once again, back to our
Well-
thing, if they are physical, it's going to be some physical running.
Well, you're kind of wrong because again, not Najee again. Like I'm gonna talk a little crap here on Najee. If you go back the past 2 years,
Yeah.
and how Najee has started the season. How has Najee's always started the season?
It's been slow.
He wouldn't finish his runs.
I guess that's true.
Until about halfway through now. Part of it because he was injured.
Yeah.
And that, but he's healthy this year. He looks very good this year.
So we'll see.
I want I want to see the Najee Harris of last year.
Yeah.
Start off this year.
Yeah.
Impose your will. Take the contact and fall forward and get 2 or 3 extra yards.
Yep.
Like,
Always fall forward.
Don't go running out of bounds. Cut the ball back up the field and get 2 or 3 more yards.
Yeah.
Impose your will
and protect the ball.
Right.
Protect the ball. Yep. So yeah, I think that's a really good look at the Steelers. Absolutely. Back to the Penn State thing because I know we kind of cut short on that real quick. And we were watching that game this past weekend because we are Penn State fans. Go State. But I think the point you were coming in is we were talking about Russell Wilson and Fields, and Penn State kind of did that where Drew Aller was obviously the starting quarterback, but Bo also came in and threw a touchdown pass and did some really nice things with option runs and
with zone reads, right?
Zone reads, exactly, and that's something that Justin Fields could do because he has incredible legs, but he also has a good arm, so he could do zone reads and fake like he's going to be running, and then throw up a beautiful pass down the center, or whatever. So I think we have a 2 quarterback option situation here. We have 2 vets, obviously, and in my mind, yes, Russell Wilson is the starter, should be as such. And if he is hot, if he is like iron hot, oh yeah, let him rip, let him rip. But in my opinion, there's still no reason why you can't bring in Fields for an option play or zone read or this whatever, just to throw it up a little bit for the defense. Because I'm sorry, but if you have to prepare for 2 quarterbacks, it's a lot to prepare for.
And plus, they're 2 vastly different ones too.
Correct. Yeah, it's not
nobody enjoys preparing for Lamar Jackson with it. So and again, not saying Fields is exactly like Lamar because he doesn't have the pedigree that Lamar does,
but he's similar,
right? But again, seeing him come on the field, it's like, well, like you are like, yeah, it looks like it's probably going to be a run 80% of the time, but that one chance that it's not a run, it could be a home run ball for a touchdown,
exactly.
Like, or again too with the zone read concept, like if he's giving it or he's holding on to it. I mean, again, it's still a decision for DNs, linebackers to have to make.
Exactly.
And again, if they're wrong, you're looking at 7, 15 yards.
Well, yeah, because you could have them loading the box thinking he's going to run. We're gonna stop him,
right.
And you have George or someone who goes out for just a short 5-yard pass, and it's
right. So I'm not taking that as a negative.
Yeah. No, it's definitely not.
I'm not taking it as a negative until we see that it is a negative.
Right. Yeah.
With it. Because when it becomes a negative is whenever one really starts to fail, which again, Russell's in pole position. It's his job to lose.
Yeah, correct. I agree.
It's his job to
lose.
Agree. So
yep, we're gonna be behind him until that. If that would happen, we're hoping that does not happen. Obviously, we want the Russell of old times for sure.
Right.
So Atlanta Falcons. Let's turn to them here quick.
So we're just taking a quick peek at Atlanta. So what the theory is that they're going to be running kind of like an air raid system, which again, Pittsburgh. Again, who knows how this defense is going to go? It's week 1. Traditionally, we don't always do best when it comes to air raid systems.
Yeah. Well, nobody really knows week 1.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. I mean, they have great stars. They have Bijan Robinson at running back. Kyle Pitts, who the heck knows? He's a physical stud, but I mean, he hasn't really produced well his first 2 years, mostly because of quarterback play. Drake London is another solid receiver. I'm interested. He's probably matched up with my guy JPJ.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see how that matchup goes. He's Drake London's a tall length receiver. JPJ tall lengthy quarter.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see how that.
It's gonna be a battle. That'll be an interesting battle.
How that goes.
They also have Ray McLeod.
Yes, which again we all know Ray, right?
Yep.
Ray was a solid player, and Ray has also come from San Francisco.
And he did
too.
good things in San Francisco. Yeah,
right.
he did.
And then another sneaky person is Darnell Mooney as probably their wide receiver too.
Yep.
And Darnell Mooney was pretty good receiver when they're at the Bears. Again, just had shitty quarterback play.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, Atlanta is a sneaky favorite here to. I honestly think they're going to win the NFC South.
Yeah.
Based off the roster.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the only question mark is Kirk Cousins, which again, which I'll tell you the odds right now. So
I was going to ask you.
BetMGM right now has this as a 3-point dog going.
They have us as a 3-point underdog.
Yeah, going
Steelers.
into the game, which is which week one going away. That's
makes
fine.
sense.
And honestly, too, with how this game kind of is looking, I kind of see it as a one possession game.
And you know what? I'd rather be an underdog. I always like being an underdog. Yep. So yeah, I agree. That makes sense. I think that's reasonable.
But where I see the advantage at is, it's Kirk Cousins. We've always done well against Kirk Cousins, regardless. Because again, they're kind of running that Minnesota system. Again, as long as our corners and that can cover, we should be fine. But again, he's coming off an Achilles injury. The man hasn't played football.
Yeah. And the other thing with Cousins, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, it's almost like I don't want to. This is almost like blasphemy or something. Like he's nowhere near Brady, but if there's pressure on Kirk Cousins, he's going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's similar to Brady. Same thing. If that line is getting in there, if we're imposing our will on defense, on their offense, and we're getting into his field of vision and into his backfield, Kirk Cousins is going to have a long day. In my opinion, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the key to Cousins. I mean, there are some quarterbacks out there you can pressure the living crap out of them. It is what it is. Like Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, breaking his nose and everything else, he's still throwing 50-yard touchdown passes and stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's not Kirk Cousins, in my opinion. I think if you pressure him enough, you get into the backfield. If you get him green a little bit, get him down into the ground a little bit, I think that's going to change the air raid situation and attack. They do have a good running back though with Bijan. Was it Robinson? So
right. So again,
but yeah.
So let's just if we go quickly back here, probably last topic here.
MGM. Well, yeah, you talked about that, but
yeah. I know you had them as a win. I had them as a win whenever we were doing our way too early predictions.
Yeah, way too early. That's right. Hashtag way too early predictions,
yes,
people.
Way too early.
Yeah.
Again, I still have this as a win. For us.
Again, we have the opportunity to change our way too early to the week before. I think that we could do that. Yeah.
I will say
it was like Santa's wish list way back.
I will say if shit really goes down the tube here, like in the first couple weeks, then we can maybe redo that whole game there.
If shit goes downhill in the next couple weeks, you know where I'm going? I'm driving out to Bazookas. That's where I'm going. I'm going to Bazookas.
Make you forget.
Yeah, I'm going to Bazookas.
Or maybe, you know what? I'll just go drive down to Florida State University since I'll go be with those losers down there.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But anyway, go ahead. I digress.
But yeah. So again, I thought this was going to be an easy win. I think most people kind of thought this was going to be an easy win go in the offseason when the schedule got released.
Yeah.
I don't see it that way anymore.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to say is that this is a must win for us.
Yeah,
this is a game that we have to. I mean,
we can't start slow,
right? There's no easy games in the NFL. Everybody knows that.
Yes,
but again, this is one that we have to start. We have to win.
I think we need to start off on the right foot. We need to get some good positive footing to build some momentum behind and confidence. We need some confidence, I think, is what we need. Because last year was a rough year. I mean, and I'm going to go with you on that. Atlanta, probably why we kind of thought what we thought is, well, Atlanta really hasn't been that great in the past couple of years. They're kind of up and down and whatever. Do you know what I mean?
New head coach, new quarterback, everything
exactly
there, right?
But that doesn't mean shit, essentially. Do you know what I mean? Just it means nothing. Just like us, we have a new offensive coordinator. I mean, do we think that it's better than O Canada? I mean, I sure as shit hope it is.
Yeah, right.
From what I saw in preseason, it does seem that way. But correct. I mean, I agree. Still, I want the win. Obviously, we want to win every damn Sunday. But yes, I think it's going to be a more difficult game than probably what we thought doing our way too early predictions. Yeah. And I think you agree. So yeah, absolutely. Get out your rabbit's feet and everything else.
Even though, Aaron, I will say you kind of remind me of Mickey Rooney with how crazy your predictions were with
I'm former biggest star in the world, Mickey Rooney. And as you may know, I am totally and completely insane. I like to yell at mice with my shirt off. Gah! Gah! Sometimes I like to steal other people's scabs. Ah! Ah! How do I stay so crazy? Mickey Rooney's Crazy Pills. Take one with breakfast, one with lunch, and before you know it, you'll be up on your roof pooping in the chimney. Hold out your stockings, kids.
Yeah, would you have them going like 11 and 5?
I don't know.
Or
We have to
something?
look that up. I have to double check that.
You probably were taking some Mickey Rooney Crazy Pills.
I think, you know what? I think we need to get them printed and put up back here on the
back
wall
here
right
as
here. So we can see.
Yeah, so that way everybody can hold us accountable.
Yeah, everybody can see.
Yeah, hold us accountable.
How much of jack-offs we really are.
Right.
We do have a sign, but we need to get that up, hopefully for the next episode. But yeah.
All right.
Anything else you think? I mean, we're still going with the win against Atlanta in Atlanta. I think it's going to be a great game. I hope it's a good game. Nobody likes boring games. Let's hope that on both sides that, you know, injuries are to a minimum. Obviously, we don't want anyone getting hurt from either side. Just want a good, clean game and fair game.
Quickly, final score prediction.
Ooh. Let me think here. Let's go with, you know what? I'm going to go with 20. I'm going to go with 24 Steelers, 24. I'm going to go with 24-21. I'm going to go with 24-21 with a 3-point opposite is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Because they had a 3-point over us, right?
Yep.
So, yep, I'm going 24-21.
I'm going to go 27-20 Pittsburgh.
27-20 Pittsburgh. All right.
At least I hope so.
So do we need to make bets on this or what?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure this out.
Yeah,
we'll figure this out as we go. I think we should. I mean, I'm not eating shit or anything like that, but we can figure something out. Maybe a Snickers bar that looks like shit.
Well, again, that's a whole different conversation for another time.
State, yeah.
But yeah. So here's to week one. Here's to a new NFL season.
Yep. Cheers to you, my friend. I love you, buddy.
Enjoy the ride.
Yep. And make sure you tune in to the Blitzburgh Banter, people.
Peace out.